Abusia Atik Mohammed echirimu a niasi ewo US no ade se dynamics a omugina so de to aba no ene Ghana de no ese pa enti likely se niasi wo US no ebi nso betimi asia na abusia wanya abotre achirechirem achire se John Dramani Mahama ni situation no akoye se Donald Trump die ni bi a chese omunyina omubedi one term which is 4 years and omukoi and omoseba Donald Trump aba bewini sa enso so no se Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia enso so vice president as see wuginem ediama MPP as omo presidential candidate nanu eno ochiremu a enyoma US fo gina so to aba no editia vice president Kamala Harris and say economy ene nyoma bi a eka ho omususu se after 8 years enya de se etwayi eno ochiremu se sa na ekode a ene na Ghana ha de no there will be no difference. I mean,
the woman up with Biden say some from so because ye mo year bibia yes o kan ho bi na e baye.
Nyo baby say e dey no ye. Pandemic no enyo no dey baye. But you can question how he handled it. But unfortunately, when you find to deal with the fallout from the COVID in respect of the economy. Also, COVID is, that was when the economy started heating up. But a year said it was coming to an end, that was when he was kicked out. So when you're trying to bring some policies back to resolve the aftermath of COVID, every year, yes, you won't. So he never had the opportunity to implement anything that would deal with the aftermath of the COVID and the fallout of COVID. Until he played a role. And in any event, not Biden and Harris said they were better placed to fix the fallout than or no Biden was. Unfortunately, the reverse is what came to be true.
Now, the persona of unknown Donald Trump, anybody express says we're too radical.
No, America says here, baby, that's the kind of person they are looking for. They feel establishment politics now more. So, Obia, who is outside the establishment, Obia, you can't predict. Because sometimes, now look, like it or not, global politics, there is some, new type of Cold War. It's not like the Cold War we knew between Russia and the US, but there is some economic type of Cold War amongst the US, Russia, and China. So an unpredictable character is better placed to win the war than Obia they can easily predict. Now Biden and Harris, the Chinese can easily predict him. Russia can easily predict him. But even the Americans can't predict or know Trump. How much more their enemies in quotes. What I say. So they feel this is somebody who is unpredictable and can always get things done. And there's a track record to show that the economy was better. He was working on improving the trade position of the US. He always talked about bringing the jobs home. And they feel that the unpredictability of Trump is actually an advantage. And everything up warm.
Come to think of ye elections, ye tonoha. Reflections be, and now a semblance be. Say, yes, you
could say there is a theming pattern because the dynamics are similar in many respects. There is a retaining candidate, there is a vice presidential candidate, but it will be not entirely correct to hasten to conclude that because the dynamics are similar, the outcomes are going to be similar. Usually, you might have similar dynamics, but the outcomes might be different. The reception of the messages of the candidates, and at the end of the day, Ghana for maybe America for sure economy, the character or the persona of the candidates. Ghana for so measure. But as to whether they'll come to the same conclusion remains to be seen. Like I said, the dynamics might be similar, but the outcomes might be different.
Is America not ready for a female president? And now BB Wawa a year factors and now factor it leading to these results from America.
I think the question is not very much about whether America for a crowd or now a crowd for female president. We share the demographics of voter turnout now. Obinim pa didwana ebetu aba. I think largely the outcome of that election was based on the positions that various candidates who held on the various issues that characterized the elections and other than underpinned the elections. Now, Usha, generally speaking, United States will be in the sense the cost of living across the inflation has been high, even though from 2022, Usha 2024 inflation rate are above from compared to the 2022 rate. Nonetheless, the cost of living is still very high. And generally speaking, the economy is on the ropes. Now, between the Biden-Harris administration and the Trump-Pence administration, which one offered us a better economy? This was a critical question that voters drew on and the answer they have is that under Trump, the economy was much better, inflation was lower, and so on. Apart from, pre-COVID, Trump was able to build the economy to the point now amount for in the sense that employment was rising, inflation was low, interest rates were low, and the rest of that. Now, COVID by and I am new imagine some kakra now one team manage COVID ni. But the expectation was that Biden and Harris bar they will be able to fix the shortcomings of Donald Trump in the management of the economy because of COVID. No, but he has moved from bad to worse. So I'm up for between the one who was able to manage the economy to our satisfaction and let me say to our optimal satisfaction. No? And in your buyer now, Numa Yedin, Numa Boy, and so on, housing cost cost, unemployment cost between Omo and Trump. Who do we think that the 2 minimana Obinim Abua? And the conclusion was that Trump ran a very on the issue of immigration. It is an issue that finds expression with a lot of Americans. The policy on immigration, no, as the even Latinos. Illegal immigrants or no. Even among the Latinos, the reason why Trump won the Latino votes in this year's election, and is they identified strongly with his message on immigration. So for me, it was more about messaging. It was more about credibility. Credibility in the sense of why the bit and why I be done. What has here, and it was also a question of we share. The nature of politics in America, no? They have this establishment politics. But I'm quite to say people are tired of establishment politics. And Trump is an unpredictable person. What is here? And from Michigan, for example, there was concern again about the way the Biden-Harris administration has handled the conflict in the Middle East. And Ebimuso feels the way Biden has handled the Ukraine issue, no? Russia-Ukraine war, no? It could have been handled much better. Just empowering them with more weapons will not result in the resolution of the conflict. And people feel there's no way you can expect Ukraine to defeat Russia. And if that is the issue, if that's the realization, then DNSO we have to bring about lasting peace. It's not about giving them more weapons, but it's about making sure that you find a lasting solution. And among for the relationship that subsists between Trump and Putin, he would exploit that to bring pressure to bear on Putin, so that some concessions will be made, and then a solution to peace can be found. And it wasn't necessarily about the text question; it was a performance, a track record question, you can say a persona question, and more importantly, about the comfort of the American people. Are they living comfortably now or not? So the economic question was also a very key issue. And these were, in my view, informing the decision of, especially the swing states, to vote for over Trump. and not because Kamala Harris is a woman. As a matter of fact, it plays to her advantage.
Okay.
The policy on reproductive health and choice, you know. Ordinarily, and in fact, they voted not based on party affiliation. They just voted because they feel Kamala Harris's position on women reproductive health, women right to choice, and the rest of that resonated with them. And we had Republican women voting for Harris. And I don't think the sex issue, works against them in any way.
Okay, next, our voting culture. No, this time around, it was based on issues and the policies. Okay.
They looked at Omar Sitina and looked at maybe where are we supposed to be? Who can take us there? And how do you do that? You have to assess past performance. And Obinim feels that these are two evils. That the Biden-Harris administration has not been optimal, if you ask me. But Trump won issues. So there are like two evils. But between the two evils, which one is the worst? So they decided to go for the lesser one.